Hey guys, this is Nefarious411 and welcome to episode 76 of my modded survival series. If you didn't catch the in-between episode, this is the structure that I built during that episode, and it's not complete yet. I still want to build some stuff on the top, but overall I really like the structure. Started replacing some of the crag rock and the stone with dirt just to make it a little bit more appealing and more nature-like, but I really like it. And inside we have the little pool. In between episodes I did go ahead and create my sigils again. I have my lava sigil, but for some reason I'm not exactly sure how to do the sigil of holding, because it was having some issues. I don't know how to actually get this to work, because whenever I right click it doesn't actually do anything, so I don't know what to do with that. So I am able to take these out. I might end up having to look it up in the blood magic stuff, but I will be continuing this build at a later date. I haven't decided what I'm going to do at the top yet, but we'll just have to let you know. So over here, in my last play series episode, I built this area downstairs and I rearranged a lot of stuff in between episodes. I did a lot of experimentation. I'm not going to do the build, but I'll at least explain what I did down here. So if you remember, I used the buildcraft pipes to kind of automate placing of the TNT, using all of these different gates for determining whether or not to pull out a TNT or not, things like that, and it worked out really well. So instead of looking at the mana spreader as I had before, I decided to look at the mana pool and essentially look at the percentage of the mana pool, because if you put a comparator, a redstone comparator on this mana pool, the strength of the redstone output will essentially tell you from 0 to 16 or 0 to 15 how much mana is actually in this pool. So with a little bit of hackery, I have the redstone comparator right there, and if you place a redstone signal in the POS or positive side, basically that means that whatever level is coming in there, the output will not come on until it's at least exceeded what that positive level is. And the way I'm doing that is kind of weird, is with a bibliocraft bookcase. So there's actually a thing with a bibliocraft. If you create a redstone volume 1, and it's just a book with a redstone torch, it creates this little book, and based upon the position that you place this book, that will be the redstone strength coming out of it. So right now it's roughly around 50%, and that's why my pool up here is a little bit less than 50% of the total amount. So if I were to change this book to maybe that slot right there, or I could just throw my book on the ground. Why aren't you placing? Okay, there you go. It turns on this blue cable, and that will start the whole TNT process up, because I have the timers going into this guy, and that one is determining redstone signal on. It's going to do the red pipe wire, and then this one is the basic. Let me show this one first. This one right here is the iron AND gate, and it needs the blue and the red to be on before it does a redstone signal. And this is the autarkic gate. I still can't pronounce that. So whenever the redstone signal is on, it'll do a single energy pulse, which will pull a single item out of the better barrel up there, and essentially make the TNT come down this way. And whenever it goes all the way up, this stripes pipe will place it on the ground, and the blast will be absorbed by one of these interpiniums, and I decided to go ahead and go with 2. Just in case for some reason there was like some server lag or tick lag and multiple TNT came out of here. I wanted to make sure that at least one of these interpiniums was completely empty before the TNT blew up, because I actually blew up portions of this area like 3 or 4 times because I made mistakes. One of those was trying to hook 2 of these interpiniums up to a single mana spreader. I think to be on the safe side, you should always hook it to a single mana spreader, a 1-to-1 mapping. That way you can guarantee that the interpinium will at least dump all of its content into its own mana spreader before the next TNT blows up. But this does fill up the mana pool rather quickly, as you can see. Right now I've just been filling the TNT barrel up manually. I can come into my A system and craft up some TNT here. Start that guy up, and you can see that it crafts up pretty quickly. I did create a backlog of sand, just so that I can always have some sand on hand, so that I can craft some of this TNT. But you can see that it's a little bit over 50%, getting up to 60%. And as soon as it gets to, I don't know, 60 or 70%, wherever this is, in the bookshelf. So the top left slot is going to be 0, and this one's going to be like 15. So that's roughly a little bit over half. And as soon as that gets there, it's going to turn off this blue redstone wire, and essentially it'll stop triggering TNT from coming out. So that works out really well. I like it. This mana spreader right here is just piping it up whenever it can. Right now this mana pool is completely full, so essentially this isn't going anywhere. So this will eventually backlog to the point of turning this entire process off. The timer's still going to go, but that's not a big deal. I think I have the timer for like 6 seconds or so, just to make sure that there's a little bit of buffer room in between. But in today's episode, I think it's about time, since we have some decent mana production going, I want to start looking at the portal of Alfheim. So essentially, a long time ago, elves and Minecrafters used to live in this world, in the overworld, together, but for some unforeseen circumstances, the elves had to go back to their own world, Alfheim. So using this portal, we have the ability to at least communicate with the elves on the other side. But unfortunately, the portal is not a portal such as the Ender portal or the Nether portal. It can't transfer entities, players or elves, but we can pass items back and forth. So let's go ahead and look at what it would take to create one of these. And it looks like we need some Terra steel and some living wood. And fortunately, I have a few Terra steel in here. I've been trying to collect that here and there. I still don't have any kind of automation on this. That is something that I will plan on doing, but I want to kind of create the elf portal first. Alright, so that's the Elven Gateway core. And we need some of these Natura pylons, and that's going to be some mana pylons. And that looks pretty simple. And as you can see, I've been stockpiling a lot of mana diamonds, mana steel, and mana pearls, so that we can actually trade with the elves once we open up the portal. So let me go ahead and grab some of this stuff. There we go. And I forgot what the recipe was. And I think I need 2 of these. So I actually do need to grab a little bit more gold. There we go. And that creates mana pylons. And mana pylons can actually be used in replacement for bookshelves for like an enchantment table. So that is pretty cool. So now we just need, I have Ender. So I need 2 of those guys. And that goes on the bottom with that guy there. I think it was like this. I can't remember the other recipe. Oh, needs to be on the top as well. There we go. Terra pylons. Cool. Alright, so then the next step, we need this other, which is interesting that it didn't have the recipe for it. Glimmering living wood. Can I not go to that? Glimmering living wood. And I think this is just going to be glowstone, yeah. So how many of those did I need? I need 3 of those. So let me grab some glowstone. 3 of those. And 3 living wood. And that will turn into the glimmering living wood. Nice. Alright, so 8 living wood blocks, elven gateway core, 2 mana pools, and 2 Natura pylons. Alright, so I have 1 mana pool. Let me go ahead and create another one right here. And that is pretty simple. And I do need to convert this into a proper mana pool. Ah, missed it. I knew that was going to happen too. There we go. Oh, my internet's lagging a little bit today. Hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. Alright, so then we need the rest in living wood. Open this up. There we go. That is probably good. And I haven't really decided where to put this. I could always move it later. The thing is, with opening the Alfheim portal, it does use quite a bit of mana, like a substantial amount. It uses less to maintain the portal connectivity, but just the creation of the portal itself does take a lot. So let me... Oh, that's new. Cool. Right-click any block. So can I leave it like this? Or oh, there we go. It's stuck. Nice. All right. That's probably a good enough spot. That is a pretty cool mechanic right there. So all I have to do is follow the outline here and just create everything that it says. There we go, there and there. And then living wood in these corners, and we're done. Nice, structure complete. That was pretty cool. I guess that's about it. Now it's just a matter of filling up these mana pools, and that's one of the reasons why I've been stockpiling all of these mana tablets. So let me accept mana from items, throw a couple of those in there, and this one's accepting, so throw a couple. I swore I grabbed 4 here. Did I not grab 4? I swore I grabbed 4. Is my... I don't think my magnet's on, no. Getting a little bit of lag on this. Alright, so I guess I didn't grab 4. Let me try grabbing a couple more and just throwing these guys on, because I think it takes 2 of these tablets to... Where did the other one go? I swore I grabbed 2 that time. I think I'm going insane. Alright, apparently I can't throw it on top. I do have to throw it on the side. Well, that looks like it's almost full. Oh. Yeah, there's something going on. I might end up having to reboot the server. Because this is going to be obnoxious if it keeps doing these weird things. Where did that go? I don't think this is working. There we go. Yeah, it shows as full, but then it's not. Ah, you're tricking me. Alright. Try throwing this one in. Maybe? Alright, so instead of you watching me deal with server lag, let me go ahead and fill up these pools, and it ended up over here somehow, and I will be back. Alright, so I think I figured out the server lag issues, and I have everything ready, I believe. all of my mana pools are full again. I did craft up a little bit more runes while I was just waiting here. But overall, I think we might be ready to go ahead and activate this. So let me just right-click on that, and bam! Achievement get. And that was called World Calling. Alright, so that looks like it's open now. Let me just check. I guess it wasn't a significant amount. That really doesn't look like a lot, to be honest. So now it's open, and the first thing that we want to do is throw in our book of Lexicopetania, because now Elvengard. Nice. That is a pretty cool logo. So now, basically, greetings. We noticed that a portal was opened via a link from another world. That's rather shocking news indeed. We thank you very much for providing us with a repository of knowledge from your world. As to keep us up to date to what happened since we left it, it's been a while since then. It's good to see it's doing well. Okay. After some discussion with the High Council, because apparently they discussed it within the amount of time that it took, we have decided to cooperate with you. You see, reading through your Lexicopetania has also shown a good amount of resources from your world, blah, blah, blah. So basically, they want to trade with us now because there are certain things in our world that they don't have, and there are obviously things that we have that they don't, or vice versa. So now that it's the portal's been established, it's weak, so no living things can go through, but we are able to throw back and forth items. When it comes to mana and other magical energies, we are plenty stocked on them, so don't worry about closing the portal on our end. Let's put this in perspective. In order to, for advance of both civilizations, we vow to accept the given of the resources for world, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now what we want to do is see in our Lexicopetania, there are new items that we can start looking at, and here we go. They're all green, and these are all things that are related to the higher tier from items from the Elven portal. And we have Elven mana spreaders, so we can create Dream Wood, and it conducts mana better than Living Wood. Can't be turned into a redstone mana spreader. It looks like we have more, we can conduct mana faster without mana loss. So that is pretty cool. So I should start converting all of my mana spreaders into this new Dreamwood Elven mana spreader. And I believe that is Dreamwood. How do I create Dreamwood? That is just a 1-to-1 of living wood to dream wood. So let me go ahead and do some of that. And I do have some living wood in here. So let me go ahead and collect some of that up real quick. Nice. And let me just throw in 16 since I have 16 on me. And after a while, this will start popping out dream wood, which is very, very cool. And it's kind of slow, but it's fine. I don't mind it one bit. As long as we get all of our stuff, we are happy. Alright, so now, let me just check real quick. And it looks like it's Elementium. We haven't figured out how to create Elementium yet, and that looks like it's 2-to-1 mapping of Mana Steel. So, that means that if I were to pop in 30 of these, I should get 15 blocks back. Whew! Expensive. And you should note that if you were to throw in anything else, the elves will think that it's more of an offering to them, and they will keep it. So don't throw in anything that you don't intend to trade and get back items, because the elves will keep it. Alright, so here we go. I guess I didn't need to convert these, but we have Elementium now. There's plenty of uses for Elementium, and we'll get into some of those at some point. I could create the Elementium chest plate, but I think I'm going to stick with the Terra steel, because I think the Terra steel, the if you were to have an entire suit of the Elementium, there is a chance for pixies to basically spawn if something is hitting you. So it gives like a thorn type reaction to mobs that are hitting you. But let me go ahead and throw in some more stuff because this is good. I want to do this before too long. Looks like we're fine on the mana pool right now. But if I throw in mana pearls, I will get pixie dust out. Nice. And I think that's a 1-to-1 mapping. So since I threw in 16 mana pearls, I should get 16 pixie dust back. And I did. That is very cool. So what I want to do first, I said that I was going to create some mana spreaders, or elven spreaders first. Let me at least create the 2 that I have access to right now. And that's using, is that, can't remember if that's normal petals or mana petals. And it looks like mana. Do normal petals work? No. Alright. So, mana petals it is, and we have elven mana spreaders. Nice! And one thing that I'm going to do first is convert this guy with an elven mana spreader, because this is not nearly fast enough. And yes, I do know that I lost some of the mana in there, and it's just one of those risks. And that should be bound, right? Oops. Bind mode. Okay, that was in function mode. Come on. I want to bind you. Is this not in bind mode? Alright, bind mode. Try this again. There we go. Now it's bound. And I should still be able to use these lenses on that. And it should be able to transfer mana quite a bit faster now. So that'll actually be very beneficial. And the next thing that I want to do is probably upgrade this guy. So let me go ahead and do that real quick, because this will allow me to transfer energy from here to here that much faster. So if I were to, say, drop a couple of blocks of iron in this guy, just to use a little bit of mana, it should be able to transfer a little bit faster than it was before. But we can do a little bit better than that. You know how we created the sparks before? Well, these sparks can be augmented, and I kind of hinted at this in a previous episode, but because we didn't have the portal yet, we weren't able to do that. So what I want to do first, let me go ahead and throw a couple of sparks on these mana pools, and they will work with the sparks, or the pylons on top of it. And you can see that eventually the spark will float up all the way to the top, and we can see it. We have to be careful in this mode because right now it's connected into the network, and it's going to be sharing mana across all these. So if I were to create Terra still, it would basically drain those mana pools, and eventually, once these are drained, the portal will be closed. So what I want to do is create an augmentation. And those augmentation, I want to create a dominant augmentation. And what that does is gives the ability for these sparks to draw from either normal sparks or recessive sparks, and basically keep its pool full while just draining all of the others around it. So let me go ahead and create one of those. And this is dispersive. I want dominant. And that is going to require this, a couple of pixie dust, and what was the other one? Fire. Nice. Alright, so now we have 2 of these augmentations, and if we were to click on that and click on that, it will make those dominant so that they will draw energies from all of the other mana pools around them and keep these mana pools completely full while draining out these. And I think that's going to work out really, really well. I could just take this guy up, put that here. Alright. So another thing that I would probably want to do is, since this is basically my buffer where all of the mana is getting pushed into, I can make this one recessive, and that would make it force all of its mana to surrounding pools automatically. So let me go ahead and try that. Recessive. It's Rune of Earth. I don't have one of those on me, but I could just go ahead and grab this stuff first. And Earth. There we are. Cool. Recessive. And I think this will work. Right click on that, and this will make sure that all of its mana gets drained out. And I think that would make it where I don't need this mana spreader anymore. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pop this mana spreader off. I know that I just upgraded this, but that is fine. I can find another use for this later. Possibly to make the runic altar a little bit faster. I can replace this guy, but for now I'll probably just throw that in here just for the time being. So now this is going to essentially just push its mana out to these pools over here. I don't think it'll do the one down here because we don't have a spark on this guy. I could be wrong, but this one is definitely delivering its mana as fast as it can. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. I might end up changing this one to a normal spark and putting the recessive down below. We'll just have to see how that goes. Alright, so let's see what other mischief we can get into while the mana, or the Alfheim portal is open. Because I don't know if I want to keep this open all the time, because that'll start eating into my resources of all of my TNT to below and my charcoal. I'm not too worried about the charcoal, but my TNT right now I'm having to create manually. So I don't want to do that too often. So let's just take a look through here and see what kind of other things we can do. So a mana prism allows mana manipulation, power conveyed through mana bursts. Using spectral platform as a component, this block does not have any physical presence. Entities and bursts can go through it as if they don't exist. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. Any other... Oh, we have a new generating flora, which is a Kakamuris. This allows you to eat cake. That might be a little bit easier and better than using the TNT below. This is probably a lot less dangerous too. Spectralis. Absorb any and all wool blocks dropped nearby. Oh, that's kind of interesting. It's picky as to what colors it wants, starting at white. After it absorbs one piece of wool, it'll rotate through the next color in the spectrum. Ooh. Kind of curious, though, how much... I might have to try these in upcoming episodes, just to see how much mana they actually produce. But let me go ahead and go through here and see what kind of things that we can play around with all of the extra Alfheim related items, and I will be back. Correction, I just looked at the time and noticed that we are at that 30-minute mark, but before we leave off for today, I have been working on my Terra Shatterer in between episodes, and it is almost to rank A, and I'm actually curious, before we leave off, what rank A will actually do. So let me go ahead and throw that in there, and let me go ahead and spare items to mana just to see what this will do. It is almost there. So let me, while that's doing that, I should probably clean up my inventory, but wow. I do not have much room for inventory anymore. Is it done? No, not yet. Thought I was closer than that. Alright, so let me keep letting that run. So yeah, I will probably have to come back in the next episode and figure out other things. I've been reading all of the different types of artifacts. There's a lot of ender artifacts that are kind of interesting, things that have to do with the end. Might actually get us to the point of being able to automate some of these things, but there are definitely lots of things that I would like to look at, but I will have to do that in the next few episodes to see if there's anything worth investigating. And oh, it's almost there. And that is nice. You see how it's able to transfer mana, and it does it at a relatively quick speed, which is very, very good. And yay, we are at rank A. So I am not sure what this is going to do. So let me come over here, because rank B did the 3x3. So rank A, woo, a 5x5, nice. All right, I can live with that. So it does it. Let me see, how is that working? If I do it at eyesight, it's not center, so you have to keep an eye on that. But if I were to do the center, looking down, it is the center there. All right, so that'll take some getting used to, but yeah, it's a 5x5. And with my efficiency 5 on here, that is pretty fast. Unfortunately, it looks like in order to get to the S rank, that might be a little bit more on the pricey side. I'll have to play around with that, see if I can get any movement on the S rank. I don't know what that does. I might end up having to research this next one, but I am rather satisfied with the 5x5 area. But I do have to end it off today. I really hope that you enjoyed the episode. Next time, whenever we come back, I'll have a little bit better understanding of all of the new stuff in here for the Alfheim portal, and we'll go from there. So if you could rate and comment down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. And also, if you like the series, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But for now, this is goodbye.